Need a mental health reset right now? Life, health, and business coach Julie Cass from the Positive Change Group joins us this morning with some tips on fighting pandemic fatigue. Good morning.
Good morning, Annette.
This is so timely. I thought weeks ago when we booked this interview, oh, things will be all better by then. It is not. In fact, in many cases, like anecdotally, I'm hearing from people that's like, okay, I am done with this.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are done with this. I mean, we're going on 14 months now, so it's taken a toll on our lives, on our mental health, and I think we have to recognize and actually own how hard it has been, and then even give ourselves a pat on the back because we've made it so far. We've made it through the winter. We're here now, and I think we have to literally pat ourselves on the back and say, well done, because this has not been easy, and we've never faced anything like this before in our lifetimes.
And I think much of that anxiety, of course, there's the anxiety of, have I been vaccinated yet? What's around me? But it's like, when is stuff going to return to even some semblance of normalcy?
Yeah, so this is the thing, we don't know. And I think what happens is when we focus too much on the things that are out of our control or the what ifs, it can induce a lot of fear and keep us in that fear-induced state. So what I say this to a lot of my clients, is one of the best ways to empower yourself is to focus on what is in your control, to focus on what is in this moment, and to really try to center and ground in that truth, because that will get you from a state of fear into a little bit more of a clear mind.
I like that you also say, just let go of the guilt of wanting more.
I really believe that's important, Annette, because so many of us have put our hopes and dreams on hold this past year, and we actually feel guilty for wanting more. But the reality is that's actually our creative center. We need to tap into that. And I say to people, actually take out a piece of paper right now, write down, use your imagination. What are my hopes? What are my dreams? What do I want to achieve? What do I want to look forward to? And actually really spark some of that hope. It will really help get you from a place of stagnation.
It could be something as simple as having coffee with a friend, right?
It could be as simple as that. It could be something to just look forward to. I say to the simple pleasures in life, like making a cup of tea or seeing the flowers bloom right now. We are in spring. There's hope all around us. There's transformation all around us. So just even tapping into that energy is really huge, for sure.
And getting rid of that toxic, bad energy, the self-talk.
Yeah, so, we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day going through our minds. And for many of us, it is self-sabotaging, it's negative, it's fear-induced. So one of the ways you can overcome that is first bringing a consciousness to it, and then arm yourself with some power affirmations. Literally the opposite of what might be negative is bring the positive antidote into it. Instead of saying, I can't do this, it's I can do this. Tapping into more of those hopeful things, those joyous things, just to lighten the load a little bit, for sure.
And making sure that you're taking time to nourish yourself. And it's not just the food you put in your body.
No, and it's so true, Annette. It's not. And, I've always said as a health coach, self-care is the most important thing. And I think we dabble into it when we have time for it. And I think one of the blessings from the pandemic is this is not something that, you do when you have time. You make time for this every single day. We need that to combat some of the other stressors in our life. So that's moving your body. It's getting those happy endorphins. It's getting out in nature. It's actually having quiet time with whatever it is that brings you joy. If it's reading a book, having a cup of tea, watching the birds outside your window, but just time to nurse self right now has to be a priority.
Okay, some very timely tips for today. Julie, we'll have more of your ideas and a link to your social media up on chch.com. Julie Cass from the Positive Change Group. Always a pleasure to talk with you.
Thanks, Annette. Me too.